Maryland's Secret, brought to you by Pontiac Motor Cars. America's luxury leader and Old Dixie Biscuit Flour, the best biscuits you've ever tried. Tonight's presentation, Maryland's Secret, written by best-selling author and producer Rock Hatfield, finds our Maryland in quite the pickle. Join us now for Maryland's Secret.
Bobby's stern features betrayed a sliver of doubt, even skepticism. What exactly did you see out there at Groom Lake, Jack? Setting his glass aside, the president slowly removed his sunglasses. Were haunted, like a man carrying the weight of the cosmos itself upon his shoulders. Wonders and nightmares beyond our wildest imaginings, Bobby. An entire civilization, perhaps cosmos spanning, yet shattered and seeking refuge on our world after some unimaginable calamity. A weary sigh escaped his lips. And now we too are the helpless children in need of their tutelage to protect us from the forces beyond. A heavy silence stretched between the two brothers as car horns and birdsong faded into the dry desert breeze. Finally, Bobby simply shook his head. Whether you're spinning tall tales or an apocalyptic prophecy, there's one immutable truth, Jack. We cannot allow this secret to slip past our grasp, no matter the cost, he declared flatly. Our legacy as Kennedys and leaders of the free world depends upon it. JFK opened his mouth to argue, but was cut off by the pattering of high-heeled footsteps on the patio tile behind them. Both men turned to see the smiling, elegant visage of their sister Patricia beaming radiantly in the afternoon sun. "Hello there, my two favorite policy wonks," she quipped, sashaying over with a pitcher of fresh iced tea. "Care for a refreshment before the dusty caravan rolls in? This desert heat is simply sweltering." The Kennedy matriarch prattled on blithely, completely unaware as her brothers exchanged uneasy looks, weighted with the burdens and revelations she couldn't possibly comprehend. For now, the massive American royalty and political poise would have to be donned once more to play their expected roles. But they knew all too well they were staring into an abyss so incomprehensible, so cosmic in its implications, that the battle lines between truth and deception had permanently blurred. The only certainties that remained? Sacrifice whatever or whoever necessary to keep the shattering reality of Maryland's Secret forever quarantined. Jack can't help but think back about that nightmare of a day. It plays out in his mind. The blast furnace heat of the Nevada desert seemed to suck the oxygen right out of the air as JFK's military convoy snaked its way across the barren wilderness. Sandstorms swirled in the distance, nature's ominous sentries guarding the approach to the remote and highly classified installation, simply known as the ranch. As the lead jeep ground to a halt before the intimidating chain-link perimeter fence, Kennedy exited the vehicle and smoothed out his creaseless Navy suit under the blistering afternoon sun. Two stone-faced Air Force MPs snapped to attention, unsmiling behind mirrored shades and gripping pristine M16 rifles. "Good afternoon, Mr. President," the taller of the two guards addressed him in an emotionless baritone. "We've been expecting your arrival per the White House directive. If you'll follow me, sir." The razor-wire gates swung open with an ominous mechanical groan as JFK fell into step behind the elite patrol. His gaze drifted across the bleached terrain of concrete bunkers, antennae arrays, and squat utilitarian buildings as far as the eye could see. The eerie silence was deafening, and for the first time in recent memory, the confident commander-in-chief felt a gnawing sense of unease creep up his spine. What revelations were in store here, he wondered, behind these barbed barriers in the isolated heart of America's radiant cinder? And would his wildest imaginings even scratch the surface of what he was about to witness? After clearing an extensive outer security checkpoint, the retinue boarded a repurposed school bus painted in drab olive drab. A sinister-looking soldier riding shotgun in the passenger cabin gave Kennedy a perfunctory nod as the mysteries of the ranch began their agonizing unveiling. They drove for what seemed an eternity through winding service tunnels and sub-basement corridors that delved miles beneath the scorching surface. Labyrinthine passageways branched off in seemingly every direction, sealed bulkheads and restricted access signs, warning of infinite unknowns dwelling within these earthen depths. At last, they reached a final elevator entry point marked with the highest security clearance sigils. The president felt sweat beading on his brow as the armored doors grinded open to a stark titanium shaft that plunged straight down in a dizzying freefall. The MPs gestured for JFK to enter first. One last inscrutable look passed between the armed guards before Kennedy crossed the Rubicon into the abyss. With a sickening lurch, the elevator cab hurtled downward at dizzying speed, gravity and time itself seeming to distort on this treacherous descent. Just when Kennedy felt his stomach couldn't clench any tighter, the cab jolted to a stop with a thunderous, metallic clank.
Marilyn's Secret has been brought to you by Pontiac Motor Cars, America's luxury leader and Old Dixie Biscuit Flour, the best biscuits you've ever tried. You can find Marilyn's Secret as a podcast and audiobook, available on many fine platforms. We hope you will join us for the next exciting episode of Marilyn's Secret.